The house is the building, but the home is the familiarity of your surroundings that you always come back to and feel safe in. I think it's really easy to underestimate how a home can make you feel. I always try and think about those practical things that are so fundamentally important for everyday life, as well as trying to make a home look beautiful. When I was at university, I had a little fashion business which I shamelessly toured fashion shows with, so I think that love of textiles and materials and clothes is fed into very much what I do now. I get so excited putting together a scheme. It's a fine-tuning. Just that little detail on that trim makes it elevated. We're here in a room that I finished last year. I wanted to separate this space into two distinct areas. The screen works to keep the areas connected, but it also creates two more cozy sitting areas. I think some tips that you could take away from this room might be pattern. If you wanted to introduce pattern in a way that perhaps didn't feel quite so permanent or scary as wallpapering the entire room, I've used lots of patterned cushions here in a variety of ways, and it can feel a little bit less scary maybe because they aren't as expensive or permanent as upholstering a whole sofa in a pattern or curtains. There is a very fine line of where to stop and where you've gone too far, and I have been known to cross it, but I use white a lot to contrast between all of the patterns and colours that I use. I just think you've got to trust your instincts. You just instinctively know when it just feels right. The interior design industry and huge bank of suppliers can be a very, very daunting place. One of my biggest tips would be brave and try and enjoy it. But if you don't have an interior designer standing by your side, ask your suppliers, because they are such a vault of useful information and expertise in their area. I do it all the time. I get brilliant ideas from my suppliers, as well as advice about how to use particular materials. I think one of the most important things is to choose really good quality materials that will stand the test of time and work for you and your family now and also in the future. Make sure that you love everything in its own right and individually that you put into your house. Really understanding your own taste is key to a really beautiful and successful interior design.